Hi, Manoj here again. We're on to the letter J. J is for joy or happiness. So let's talk about this a little bit. So success normally leads to a state of joy. Your newfound sense of joy might motivate you to push on and become more successful, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Think about Richard Branson, the entrepreneur from the United Kingdom. He's into his 70s now. He seems to be very much in a continuous state of joy, and he's definitely successful many, many times over. He doesn't seem to be miserable, he doesn't complain that much. He does speak his mind from time to time, but he doesn't dwell on things. He just gets on with things, and whenever you see him, he's just having a go, like a child would do. So I wonder if being happy and enjoying what you do and what you currently have are preconditions for success. Is joy and happiness a precondition for your success? So maybe have a think about this. When you last succeeded at something, would you say that you were joyful just before you achieved success? I'm sure that you were joyful after you achieved success. I'd be willing to suggest that you're in a state of joy actually leading up to that success. Otherwise, you might have abandoned your task, lost your motivation due to not liking it. So many adults around us are in a miserable state. Take a look on your next commute into the office, the next time you're on your way into central city areas. You just seem to see people who are not that happy. They seem to have very little joy in their life. I'm not sure why this is. This is a function of today's world, too much competition, too much material desires, or whatever the case may be. So these miserable people that we see, they spend every day feeling unhappy about something or other. In some cases, the unhappiness only lasts for a few hours, a short time, and the person does not dwell on it. That's a great place to be. However, in other cases, the unhappiness results in a significant increase in negative energy, which can then linger on for days and even months. This can really drag a person down. And as we've seen now, many people seem to have mental health problems, depression, anxiety, and stress. This lack of joy, this unhappiness is causing all of these problems. However, it doesn't have to be this way. Think about young children. Maybe you've got children in your household. So young children are completely are at the other end of the spectrum with regards to joy, happiness. They are joy and happy. They exhibit joy and are happy. So they're generally happy all of the time. Yes, they do have the odd tantrum and some tears here and there when things go wrong, when they don't quite get their own way. But those episodes of sadness are short lived. Generally, children live in a state of joy all the time. There is hardly any negative energy or negative emotion amongst young children, these toddlers. They're just having fun all the time. So these youngsters are full of joy. In fact, many people refer to children as their little bundles of joy. Isn't that nice? But doesn't that tell you something? So, wouldn't it be great if we adults could also feel abundant joy every single day? Everything is created in our minds by ourselves. They're just thoughts. So, an invitation to you: when you're not feeling happy, when you don't have joy in your mind, has that been created because of a thought in your mind? Could you have different thoughts? Could you think about something which would create joy in your mind, or would you just want to just consider that joy is a default state and just enjoy it? Another thing to think about: so many of us generally have everything that we need, especially us in the Western world. We're not lacking in anything. Things are generally quite good. We have food, we have shelter, we have clothing, we have leisure time, and actually lots of stuff, material things that we don't really need. So if you're looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we've pretty much got everything, especially in the bottom few layers. So in other words, we really have got everything that we need. But in spite of this, many of us can't seem to enjoy what we've got. So material wealth, money, richness doesn't seem to equate to joy. So what else can we do? Well, look at the poorest people in the third world. Some of the very, very poorest people. These people survive on less than $1 a day, significantly less than $1 a day in some cases. However, this is very perverse, but they seem to be happy and have joy in their lives, and not just in small moments, but more or less all the time. Why is this? Something to think about. So anyway, whilst you're pursuing your goals on the journey towards being successful, have you ever given thought to the fact that if your life was considered to be 100% full of joy, you might increase your chances of success and further success? I think joy is a very important factor. Joy, happiness, very important factors with regards to success. So I think in conclusion, don't predicate your happiness upon success, but you can predicate your success upon happiness. Start off in a state of happiness, a state of joy, and I think that will lead you towards more success. Let me summarize then. So enjoy what you've got, really enjoy it. Take joy out of what you've got. Enjoy who you are, take joy out of that. Enjoy the circumstances that you find yourself in. Other people are in much worse situations if you're currently feeling a bit down upon yourselves. And if you really think about it, I would expect that most of the people, yourself, on this program are actually in the upper 1, 5, 10% of society. You are a successful person, but maybe you just haven't acknowledged it. Maybe it's time to do that. So there you go. You'll definitely have a platform to build upon towards the next level of success if you really recognize the joy that is in your life, the happiness that is in your life, and accept those as the default states of behavior, not something to aspire to, but as something to come from. Enjoy.